All right, I want to jump on here real quick and talk about what is concerning a lot of people like myself who are Christians and people who are just concerned about what is going on in our world in general. There is an absolute attack on Christianity, and it is not being shared in the mainstream media. And it is a global epidemic, but there is major attack upon the church and Christians here in America as well. We've seen this happen this week. Um, we saw what just went down at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Michigan. There was a Michigan church attack just yesterday. It was either yesterday or the day before yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Attack amid rising tide of anti-Christian sentiment in America. On Sunday, September 28th, a gunman drove a vehicle through the front doors of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc Township, Michigan, opened fire on worshipers, and set the building ablaze with gasoline. The chapel was destroyed, and investigators warned that more victims might be found in the rubble. By evening, authorities confirmed 4 dead, at least 2 from gunshot wounds, and 8 wounded, including 1 in critical condition. Counting the attacker, 5 people were killed. Police identified the suspect as Thomas Jacob or Jake Sanford, age 40, of nearby Burton, a Marine Corps veteran who served in Iraq. Sanford was killed in an exchange of gunfire with officers. Investigators discovered suspected improvised devices at the church and searched his residence for additional evidence. That evening, the police also responded to bomb threats at other churches, which were later cleared. And I want to show you a little bit more here about this from Breitbart. 40-year-old man drove into Michigan church, opened fire, and was shot dead by officers. I think this one has, let me see, video. Let's see. Here it is. Yeah. This is a video of the church literally destroyed by fire. Wow. That's incredible. He drove his truck through the front door, jumped out, began to open fire on everyone, and then poured gasoline everywhere and set it on fire, set the building on fire. This is aerial footage shortly after. I mean, it's the firemen are there, but they can't control the fire. The fire's been extinguished, and police believe they will find other victims in the fire. FBI Cash Patel is saying we are tracking reports of the horrific shooting and fire at the LDS Church in Grand Blanc, Michigan. FBI agents are on the scene to assist local authorities. Violence in a place of worship is cowardly and criminal act. Our prayers are with the victims and their families. But what I want to tell you is that this is not just beginning, and this is not isolated. There is violence. There's a spirit of violence in this country and in this world. But I will say in America, we are seeing violence escalating. Of course, you know the assassination of Charlie Kirk, but that was just the major news item of that time, and it is a huge, huge event that I believe will affect this country from now on. I believe it will be looked back on the same level as other assassinations have in the culture shift that is happening as a result of it. But I want to let you know that I want to remind you that just not long ago at all, this happened, the Minneapolis Catholic school shooting that left 2 children dead and 21 injured. That was just, not long ago at all. Not to mention, you go back and you think about the shooting that happened in Nashville, and this is a different show for a different day, and I actually do have a show where I talk about how transhumanism is tied to the transgender movement, and there is violence rising in the transgender movement. You can go back and watch that. But I'm going to ask you a question. Have you heard about this? This is unbelievable, what I'm about to show you, because I want to remind you that the world does not revolve around the United States of America. There is things happening all over the world right now. Violence is rising against Christians of all walks of life, Protestants, Catholics, even those that would be considered by some to be fringe, even maybe not even mainline Christianity. Some people have that feeling about the Mormon Church, Jehovah's Witness, things like that. But regardless of where you stand with them doctrinally, whether you believe they're a Christian, a church, a cult, or whatever you think it is, the attack did not come against them for just a random act of violence. This was a targeted religious attack, and we hear so much about persecution of certain religions, Arab religions specifically. I think you can figure out which one I'm talking about, and they call it a phobia and all this. But have you ever heard the term Christianophobia? Did I just make up a term? Did I just make up a word? Islamophobia, yeah, you're where is there a Christianophobia? I mean, are you, what do we label that? Now Christians are being labeled as Christian extremists, Christian nationalists. If you stand on biblical principles, Christians are being demonized. They've always been mocked, but now they're being demonized on such a level that Christianity is considered to be evil. Think about this. This is the narrative that's being said. Christianity is evil, and that the right thing to do is to stop these hateful Christians from their stance that they will not budge on when it comes to the principles of the Word of God. Well, I want you to think about 9/11. Now, Lord, y'all know how my memory is sometimes. It's not real good. I mean, I'm not speaking negative. Come on, I'm not saying like nothing like that, but I'm saying I'm not real good with numbers. So I don't remember the exact number that died on 9/11. I think it was right at 3,000. We went to war over that. You think about the horrible thing that happened on October 7th, and we're still dealing with that. We'll be talking tonight on our Monday night show about the potential of peace in Gaza. We'll talk about that. But what do you think would happen if you were told that whatever country you're watching this from, America, United Kingdom, Australia, Venezuela, Nicaragua, I mean, pick a country, especially a country that has a large population. What would you do if you were told that a certain group, not just, I mean, it would be bad enough if it was just citizens, if it was just Americans. Because 9/11, let's say it's 3,000. If it was 9/11, that's a lot of people, a lot of Americans to die. But what if we were to say a certain race, a certain religious belief system, a certain political party, they all had that in common, and 7,000 of them was killed since January of 2025? What would you say to that? Would you think that would at least be worthy of being on the news? 7,087 Christians have been confirmed to be massacred in Nigeria in this year alone since January. 7,087, and the number is rising. Brutal murders, going into churches, in the churches and killing them, dragging them out, beheadings, death by machete, death by machine gun, all ages. Over 7,000 Nigerian citizens being killed by fellow Nigerians who are of another religion and are killing them simply because they are Christians. Did you know about that?
1,080.
Did you know about it? So let's watch this.
A new report from the International Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law reports that since the beginning of just this year, at least 7,087 Christians have been massacred in the ongoing genocide in Nigeria. Well, Truth Nigeria's Mike Ode James is here to break the news of two more deadly attacks. Mike, my friend, what can you tell us?
Yeah, well, thank you, Raj, and thanks for having me. Now, the report that says over 7,000 Nigerians have been massacred since the beginning of January 2025 is accurate, if not understating the facts.
Understated.
The
Wow.
fact is, people are dying. They are being killed by Fulani ethnic militia and Boko Haram and other jihadi groups. Now, and most of the people being killed, over 90% of them are Christians, Nigerians from Plateau, from Benue, from Southern Kaduna, from Taraba, and parts of Nasarawa state. Now, I will tell you about the two attacks that we have in recent times. If you remember, uh, Raj, we have Yelawata. Yalwata has become a household name, and because over 270 Christians were murdered there in Benue State, Benue State, in a precinct called Yelawata. And the government has been trying to hide the fact that 270 Nigerian Christians were massacred. Now, the president, appalled by the killing, ordered the Nigerian security agencies, the army, the air force, the police, and the mobile police, a unit that is dedicated to anti-terrorism, to try and catch the killers and to curb further attacks. But
Unbelievable. 7,087 Christians confirmed dead. He said the numbers are actually understated. It's more than that in one country alone. Now, I know we live in a bubble. Everybody lives in their own little bubble, and they're only concerned about themselves. But, this is not an American problem. This is a global problem. It's more than a problem. It is literally a demonic wave against Christianity. Listen to me. Hear me. The most persecuted religion in the world that has the most martyrs in the world is without question Christianity. Now, for Americans and people from maybe some other Western countries, this is tragic. This is horrible. But if you're not careful, you'll allow yourself to think, yeah, but that's Nigeria. This has been going on for generations, and this is ethnic and religious wars, and that's horrible. But it's different here. Well, can I tell you something? It's not different here. It's not different here. There is a demonic attack against Christianity globally. That is not to say, I am not saying that other religions are not persecuted. I am not saying that Christians are not persecuting other religions in some places as well. Okay? But I'm telling you, nothing is close to the persecution that's happening. This doesn't even talk about what's happening in the Congo, what's happening in Uganda. It's happening in France. Christians are it's being hid by the media. Do you realize there's individual things in America and other countries around the world, westernized countries, where people are being killed by machete, being killed by sword, having their heads taken off. And it's just like a local news thing. And it never makes the national news. And, the government just came out, the government of the United States Homeland Security just passed down an urgent warning and bulletin to all local municipalities, local police forces, the FBI, everybody that's in military or in the police world whatsoever, to be on the lookout, because ISIS and Al Qaeda, which are not completely dead, are in our country. Sleeper cells are ready to be activated. Intelligence is saying that terrorist attacks are imminent. Horrible attacks are imminent. And the targeted attacks are going to be coliseums, sporting events, and gathering of worship, which is Christian. They're not going to attack the mosques. They're going to attack the churches and the synagogues because of who is making this threat. And it's a very real thing. It's not to bring fear, but I'm telling you, it's to open your eyes and see why. You have to ask yourself this question. If you're on the borderline and you're not a Christian, or you're just sort of, I don't want to have anything to do with the church. I don't believe in God. Okay. That's between you and yourself, whatever. Start to say between you and your God, you don't believe in God. But you have to ask yourself, why is it that the most persecuted and the most killed religion in the world is Christianity? Why? Ask yourself, when's the time you saw somebody mock Muhammad in a Netflix series? Or when's the last time you saw somebody make fun of the Buddha? But then compare that to, be honest with yourself, how many times you've seen somebody make fun of Jesus, mock Jesus, dress up to be Jesus, or make a movie about Jesus, that he was gay, or that he married Mary Magdalene and he had children, or the whole narrative of Christianity is a conspiracy and a lie, that the Anunnaki, the aliens, whatever, set this story up, made this story up about Jesus. He never existed. I mean, you don't see that about any other religion. Preachers are made fun of. Priests are made fun of. Christians are mocked. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, why is it just the Christians? Is it because Christians are soft? Well, some are. But it's not because Christians are soft, they feel compelled that they could get away with it. It's just that the devil only mocks the real thing. The one thing that actually makes him shake in his boots. The one thing that actually attacks his kingdom of darkness, the kingdom of light. It's not going to get easier. Jesus said persecution is going to rise for those that follow him, and that we will suffer for his name's sake, and that many will be killed for his name's sake. You know, we've heard the term martyr. In modern times, we've only heard Islamists, crying out that they're desiring to be a martyr for Allah. Many of them would blow up themselves and all that, call themselves a martyr, and that's the ultimate. They get their 70 virgins and all of that. But now, for us Christianity, we look at Fox's Book of Martyrs. We look back at historical martyrs, and that's as far as martyrdom has gone in the modern Christianity, but not anymore. There's 7,087 martyrs that we know of, and they said that's a low number in Nigeria just for being Christians. Killed, many of them in the places of worship. Then, of course, you have public assassinations such as Charlie Kirk. And, first of all, I really don't care if you think he was a man of God or not. And I don't know anybody's heart, but I can tell you this, he was a very strong professing Christian in his belief system. And I don't believe he was killed because of his politics. I believe he was killed because his politics lined up with his biblical stance. And yes, I do believe he is a martyr, a Christian martyr. I think he's a modern-day Christian martyr, and I don't put him on the same level as Stephen, but I'm going to tell you something. The same thing that came out of Stephen is I'm seeing it happen come out of Charlie Kirk, and that is when Stephen was stoned and killed, the very first Christian martyr in the book of Acts. When Stephen was killed, it caused the church to explode. And I'm telling you, I'm seeing people in our church, when I'm hearing other pastors tell me, I'm seeing people I haven't seen in years. People are coming in that are atheists, just trying out God for the first time. And all. Something spiritual is happening, and that is why the enemy is doing his best to bring fear to the body of Christ, to cause them not to go worship. Why would I want to go worship when this got a target on it? I'll just stay at home. I don't want to put my family in danger and all that. All of this is a targeted attack against Christianity to try to stop the voice of the Christians. It's not going to work because the kingdom of heaven suffers violence, and the violent take it by force. The remnant is rising. The remnant is rising. I'm telling you right now, there is a remnant that is rising. Why don't you join the Big Picture family? Join Sandy and I as we are trying to build a remnant of the generation of Noahs that are ready for the days of Noah. Go to LarryRagland.com. You can see it on your screen right now, LarryRagland.com. A lot of different resources there. It's a one-stop to get all of our videos that we've made, learn more about our ministry. I have blogs that you can read, audio podcasts you can listen to, just many different things. But at the top, many of you have already done this. Comment, let me know if you've read The Burning Generation. But what you do is you click on Get Your Free Gift, top right-hand corner of that yellow banner. You're going to see this screen come up. All you got to do is put your name and your email in, and you're going to get a free download PDF book that I wrote called The Burning Generation. And I'm telling you, when I wrote it, I didn't know how long time it would be. I believe it is going to literally light a fire up underneath you. LarryRagland.com, click get your free gift, and you'll be able to get that to you immediately. It's available for us, immediate download. And I want you to also know that you can send us your prayer requests. We want to pray for you. When you click on prayer requests at the top, you're going to see we want to pray for you. We believe in prayer. We believe in the power of prayer. And finally, if you'd like to donate, all you got to do is click on the donate button. And when you click on that donate button, it's going to show you ways that you can give monthly, set amounts, choose your own amount monthly, one-time gift, or you can always write us. You can send us a check, or you can write us your prayer request and write us your testimony. We sure would like to see that. Now, tonight at 7 p.m., if you're watching this during the day on Monday, get ready because tonight's our big show. Sandy and I will be covering the news of the day, breaking news and more, also the supernatural AI update. But we need to pray. I want to pray for you right now because I know some of you are afraid, you're nervous. Okay, Pastor Larry, the Christians are under attack. It makes me a little scared for my family. Well, God's not given us a spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. And he said to us, we have come to the kingdom for such a time as this. He has trusted us to be alive in this moment. Father, right now, I just pray, God, for each and every one that's watching this, that a peace would come upon them. Lord, your word said that you give us a peace that passes all understanding. And I just speak that over every man and woman, every person that's watching this now. I declare peace, peace, peace. Settle their hearts, settle their minds. God, no matter what is coming, no matter what happens, no matter what we see on the news, we're determined as the remnant. We will not be stopped. We will continue to praise you. We will continue to talk about you unashamedly. And God, we are thankful that you have chosen us to be alive in such a time as this. God bless. We ain't woke. We'll see you tonight. We certainly are awake. You know that. We'll see you tonight, and we'll see you anytime. Breaking news and more here on The Big Picture. God bless.
Help us build the Big Picture family. We're on a mission to wake up the world to what is really going on. Go to LarryRagland.com to give a one-time gift or become a monthly partner. Any amount blesses the entire Big Picture family. While you're there, pick up our book, I See Greatness in You. Browse our merchandise store, connect on social media, and get on the Big Picture mailing list at LarryRagland.com. Join us and be a part of the Big Picture family, where we ain't woke, but we are certainly awake.
You're watching The Big Picture. You're watching The Big Picture.